What to Play presents the 10 best PlayStation 4 survival games of all time, all arranged by PlayScore. To check out our full list, visit our website at whattoplay.com. You can also take part in our rankings by leaving reviews of the games that you played. If you want to become part of our growing community, we have a Patreon page. Check it out, link in the description box below. Number 10, The Persistence. Our first survival title on the list belongs in the realm of horror. The Persistence is a VR survival horror with roguelike elements. However, those who cannot afford a PSVR gear can opt for non-VR gameplay, and it's still terrifying as hell. Make your way through this derelict spaceship with nothing but a few tools to fight back. Every death means a new beginning, and every new beginning brings more experimentation along the way. It receives a play score of an 8.09. Ninth on the list, The Long Dark. Available this month alongside Marvel's Avengers in PlayStation Now, The Long Dark marries first-person adventure with deep survival elements. Instead of trying to stay alive in a creepy forest or under a terrifying alien planet full of water, The Long Dark takes players into the frozen Canadian wilderness where you make most out of this terrible situation. Push Square gave it a strong 8, saying its micromanagement ends up being fun, satisfying, and even tense. Scavenge materials, stay away from dangerous animals, and brave through the harsh weather until you make it out of this post-apocalyptic nightmare. A play score of an 8.18. Number 8, Don't Starve Console Edition. One of the pioneers of the survival genre, Don't Starve continues to remain consistent over the years as it comes out on multiple consoles, bringing in new and old horrors for the fans. Experiment with both science and magic to make it out alive of this unforgiving wilderness. Deal with its otherworldly threats using a variety of tools at your disposal. Polygon scored the game an 8.5, praising its complex mechanics as the hours go by. It's still insanely hard to play alone, but it's best played with friends. Together, adapt to its ever-changing environment and attune to the game's lingering madness. A play score of an 8.28. Number 7, Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. When talking about survival games, Minecraft does no wrong. This doesn't need no introduction unless you live under a rock. PlayStation 4's Minecraft is similar to any other version of Minecraft out there, but with a more streamlined controller support. PS Lifestyle scored the game a solid 9, saying Minecraft PS4 Edition is a tried-and-true game in a solid console format. It's still a paradise for creative people where they can flex their projects to the world. It's a shame we don't get the RTX treatment the same way that the PC version does. A play score of an 8.37. Sixth place, The Forest. Those who enjoy PC's Valheim will find The Forest in a similar experience. But instead of that Nordic adventure, The Forest burrows deep into your anxieties as a lingering threat of mutant cannibals hunt you during the night. This is where the survival part comes in. Prepping for that dreaded nightfall during the day requires you to be as resourceful as possible. Culture Vultures gave the game a 9, saying its PS4 version is a surprisingly sleek and arguably just as rewarding time sinker that won't even make you feel bad for being a terrible parent. A play score of an 8.38. Number 5, This War of Mine, The Little Ones. Nothing speaks survival better than a game based on the actual horrors of war. The Little Ones might just be a standalone DLC cut from the original, but it still feels depressing as hell. This War of Mine cycle of survival is mentally draining, even for a video game. Helping a band of civilians find a temporary sanctuary in its war-torn land takes a lot of work, and it can get pretty stressful as the game continues. PlayStation Trophies felt the emotions in the game. They gave it an 8.8 and said, "It is a powerful, affecting game that covers an aspect of warfare not typically touched by the medium." For our play score, it receives an 8.39. Fourth on the list, Terraria. Minecraft's humble 2D brother, or sister, whatever you call it. If you enjoy the limitless creative potential of its voxel-based sibling, Terraria's pixel-perfect sandbox is a nice alternative. It won numerous awards for such a small title and gained positive reviews from critics. There is no goal here. The journey is dictated by your sense of adventure. The lack of guidance may be intimidating at first, but as you discover its numerous secrets or reading hours and hours of wiki reading, you'll find out why everyone loves this old school game. A play score of 8.56. Number 3, Risk of Rain 2. A huge step from its previous title, this sequel showcases the series at its best. Survive in an alien planet full of extraterrestrial threats and select from its wide roster of playable heroes. Its replayability is insane. Each death brings in more surprises to the mix. It's more heavy on its roguelike and action elements, but the survival aspect from its original is retained. With more colors and particle effects, facing a horde of extraterrestrial threats with or without friends is Risk of Rain 2's great moments. A play score of an 8.62. Second on the list is Subnautica, a game that can either be beautiful or downright terrifying depending on your fears. Subnautica lures the undersea adventurers to go deep into its gaping aquatic abyss. Crashed on an alien planet with nothing but a lifeboat, survive a day and night cycle of solitude surrounded by a massive ocean. It's no horror game, but it does feel like one sometimes. It's a unique open-world survival that stands on its own two legs. It's currently free on the PlayStation for their play-at-home program, and it's yours to take forever. A play score of an 8.72.
When you build your society on fire, sooner or later, it will turn into ashes.
And the best PS4 survival game is Frostpunk Console Edition. From the same minds behind the gloomy This War of Mine comes a different kind of survival game. Frostpunk is in no way related to the other punks in the gaming market. It's a city-building game with civilization-scale consequences. Help a group of survivors fend off the biting cold. Nature and morality are the game's antagonistic forces. As an overseer, pick gut-wrenching decisions that can make or break your crumbling society. Be warned, it is not an easy task.
You know what? I don't care. I do not care. I can't afford to keep having to deal with Hope dying.
Metro UK gave the game a score of 9, stating that Frostpunk isn't a cheery experience, and it puts you in knowingly impossible situations and forces you to make the best of them. It receives a play score of an 8.82. Before we end our video, we thank these What To Players for supporting our channel through Patreon. For just $1, you can have your name in the credits of our next video and get exclusive What To Play rewards. Become our patron now by visiting our page through the link below.